Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Juki Jai Jai Shishi Radha Nayananath Juki Jai Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Juki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Shila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmachla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmar Shila Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Gosai Mahārāja Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmar Bhakti Dait Madhav Gosai Mahārāja Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmar Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutashmar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai and all the disciples and followers of those associates and grand disciples and great grand disciples Ki Jai Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Jai Shri रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय Sarva Abhishtabhridata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. We'll do the Mangala Charan and then begin. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya Varate Mingilo Daragata Nudritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajang Radharasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hey, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutte Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptastakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And let's recite the Pranam Mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj. Here. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Gaura Priyamurtaye Srimate Bhakti Vallabha Tīrtha Goswami Namine Maya Vara Vikhandanam Gurur Vanyanukirtanam Paschadeshopadeshakam Prasanna Vadanang Sada Shuddha Bhakti Pravahakam Shuddha Bhakti Bhagiratham Bhakti Daita Madhava Bhinna Tanung Namamyaham Nama Sankirtanamrita Rasa Swada Vidayakam Krishnam Naya Kripa Murtim Acharyang Tang Namamyaham Gauranama Pracharardrang Bhakta Sevanukangshitam Satirtha Priti Sarbhava Nomi Tirtha Mahashayam. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Mahārāja Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees. Let's see, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mātājī, Dandavat Pranams. And our special guest today, Nanda-dulala Prabhu and Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams to both of you. And Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Chattamai Mātājī, Nitai Mukeshji, and Tapas. I think that's Archana Mātājī, right? I don't know. Haribol Chattamai Mātājī, Haribol. And then on YouTube and Facebook, I see so far 8 people have joined. There's I only see the names of people who wrote comments though. But I see Ganga Mātājī, Dandavat Pranams, Gopali Mātājī, and it says Rupa. Okay, Hare Krishna. Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Raseshwari Mātājī, Indira Mātājī, and all the other devotees. Dandavat Pranams. And also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our program, which began on Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj's Vyas Puja Day. And now, I don't know how many days we've been doing this. Over, I think more than 2 weeks now. But the last 3 days, we got to hear glorifications of Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj. We got to hear from, well, first we read this book, Sweet, Sweeter, Sweetest, and then we got to hear direct glorification of Shripad Bhakti Suhrit Paramadvaiti Maharaj, and then Madan Gopal Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mātājī, Rukmini Didi, and now today we get to, Nanda-dulala Prabhu, he'll offer his Puṣpāñjalī, and then Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. And we'll see there's also, when Revatī Didi, she's in France. It's like, I think it's like still 3 something in the morning for her right now. So we'll see if she'll be able to join. But yeah, if she joins, then she'll also offer her Puṣpāñjalī. And also Sarveśvarī Mātājī, I think, wanted to offer a little something, right? So yeah, that's our program for today. So Nanda-dulala Prabhu and Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, I don't think I've met either of you before, but devotees recommended you that you would offer very nice, like they recommended that I reach out to both of you to offer your Puṣpāñjalī. And Nanda-dulala Prabhu, what I heard is Nanda-dulala Prabhu, he made the website bbtirtha.org, which is an amazing resource. It's actually exactly what I wish my Gurudev's website, purebhakti.com. I wish it was more like this. I'm hoping sometime maybe we'll use this website, bbtirtha.org, as a model. But it's very clean. The calendar is very prominent. Everything, you can see the Titi today, then the upcoming events, and then the Hari Katha for that day. And then also all these books of Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj are all here, especially this very important book, Sri Chaitanya, his life and associates. You can find the entire book here on bbtirtha.org. So for all the appearance days and disappearance days of all of Mahaprabhu's associates and our more recent acharyas, you can find Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj's glorifications of all of these personalities here. So yeah, very helpful resource, and so many things you can see, the magazines, articles, letters, audio kirtans, audio harikatha, albums, photos, so many resources here. So yeah, all right, I'm going to hand it over to you, Prabhu. If you're ready, is now good? Would you like to? Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, Hari Bol. Could you hear
Hare
me?
Krishna. Yes.
Hari Bol.
Yes.
Dandavad, Prabhu. Dandavad.
Dandavad pranam. Where may I ask, where are you right now? Where in India?
I am in Mayapur. I am in the Bhajan Kutir of my Srila Most Revered Guru Maharaj. I will just give you a darshan of Bhajan Kutir. Let me just.
Wow, you're sitting directly in the Bhajan Kutir. Wow,
Yeah.
Jai, Haribo. Jai. Jai.
So this is a this is his personal room. So you can see the Guru Maharaj's favorite Kirtan Vadradha Kunda Tata. So we have Guru Maharaj's most intimate molds here. You can see the Giriraj Govardhan Radha Kunda.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj.
Your camera is
itself.
frozen right now. Though it froze on Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj's Vigraha. Which is not a bad place for it to freeze your camera. Okay, now I can see.
Here you have a picture gallery.
Oh, it looks like the internet connection cut off. I don't think the internet is so good, but that's wonderful. We got to have the darshan. Okay, he's just joining again. All right, now I can see. Yeah, let me just pin you.
Yeah, some I think internet glitches would be there because the internet is not so good here. So you can see a picture gallery where Śrīla Guru Maharaj and Param Guru Maharaj, so on Śrīla Param Gurudev quote here. Śrīla Param Gurudev says that my appointed Sarveśvarī Tīrtha Mahārāja is my most beloved disciple. He is extremely humble and will preach more than I. And this is the most favorite quote by Śrīla Guru Maharaj, where he says that whatever Supreme Lord can give, our Gurudev can give. Whatever Supreme Lord cannot give, our Gurudev can give that also.
Yeah.
And here you see the account of the perfect master, the perfect disciple, the embodiment of Trinadapi Sunichen, and Śrīla Param Gurudev, the volcanic energy of Śrīla Prabhupada. So yeah, by Gurudev's mercy, I sometimes get some service in the Guru Maharaj bhajan. Okay.
Wow, what couldn't be a more auspicious place to be able to offer your Puṣpāñjalī. Thank you for giving that darshan, Prabhu. It's really nice.
Thank you, Prabhu. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Manchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Rupanugapriyaya cha Srimati Bhakti Ballabha Madhava Swami Namine Krishna Bhinna Prakasha Shrimurtaye Dinatarine Shama Guna Avataraya Gurave Prabhave Namaha. Satirtha Priti Sadharma Guru Priti Tadarshine Ishodhyana Prabhavasya Prakashaka Yate Namaha. Shri Kshetre Prabhupadasya Sthanodhara Sukirtaye Sarasvata Ganananda Samvardhana Yate Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu yahevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaur Vishe Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Vrindaye Tulasi Devgaye Priyaye Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatte Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsimha Hriday Nrsimha Nrsimha Madim Sharanam Prapadde. Namaste Nrsimhaya Prahlada Lahadayine Hiranyakashipo Ravaksha Shrilatanka Khalaye Vagisha Yasya Vadane Lakshmiryasya Cha Vakshasi Yasyaste Hridaye Samvitam Nrsimham Bhaje. Shri Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jai Jai Nrsimha Prahlad Isha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. First of all, I pay my prostrated obeisances to most revered Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Mahārāja, who is the most beloved disciple of Śrīla Bhakti Mahārāja, and who was called the ready-made Acharya by Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. Śrīla Puri Goswami Maharaj tells about him, the embodiment of Pranadapi Sanija Shloka, and non-different manifestation of Śrīla Madhav Goswami Maharaj, his most beloved, who won the heart of all of his Guru Vargas. I'm most fortunate to have Śrīla Guru Maharaj, as Śrīla Prabhupada says that Gurudev is our, in Bangla it says that Ananta Jivanir Pradata, he is the giver of infinite lives, because if he wouldn't have given me shelter, I would have taken innumerable of birds and different species. So Śrīla Prabhupada says that he is the giver of innumerable lives. I pay my prostrated obeisances to Śrīla Param Gurudev, Śrīla Prabhupada, and all the Rupanuga Guru Vargas. May they all bestow the strength to sing the glories of Śrīla Guru Maharaj and remember him, pray for his blessings. I pay my Dandavat pranams to all of you, especially Madhukar Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity to remember Śrīla Guru Maharaj. A conditioned soul cannot sing the glories of transcendental personalities, Guru, Vaishnava, and Bhagavan. But if there is a prayer from heart, if I can pray for their mercy from heart, then they are all merciful. So I'll start with the topic what Madhukar Prabhu just said about Ballabha Tīrtha. Ballabha Tīrtha is developed by one of my god brother who stays in Bangalore. His name is Arjun Das, and he developed the website as well as the mobile app Ballabha Tīrtha. So the website is bbtirtha.org, and the mobile app has more features. It has website, radio, and TV. So the website is the same as bbtirtha.org. The radio feature, in that we broadcast Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Param Gurudev, and Guru Vargas Kirtan and Hari Kathas, and the glories of our Gurudev, Param Gurudev, and Guru Vargas. So Guru Maharaj mercifully has given the service of working for whatever data, whatever material content is going to the website. He mercifully gave this service So bbtirtha.org, the website started sometime in 2018 after the disappearance of Śrīla Guru Maharaj. Before that, we had the Math website, cgmath.org. And yeah, in 2018, sometime in the month of April, on the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami, the new website, bbtirtha.org. And that's where we got the service opportunity. So I was thinking about, I mean, there are many topics which were coming when I got the message from Nanda-dulala Prabhu that I can offer my Puṣpāñjalī to Guru Maharaj. What should I speak today? What should I offer Śrīla Guru Maharaj? And then it came to my mind that last few days, almost last 1.5 months, we are collecting the offerings of different devotees and to be played for Bhakti Tīrtha radio. And so I decided that, okay, then I'm in that mood. We heard many of the Vaishnavas speaking about Guru Maharaj, including like many of our Guru Vargas, disciples of Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha. So
Prabhu, I'm just the radio feature is so you just go there and then it's just constantly playing something, and so
yes, Prabhu, yes, right.
And so then you've been collecting over the past 1.5 months recordings of devotees' glorifications, which you'll play on the radio. Did I understand correctly?
Yes, that's true. That's true. So okay. I mean, the collection is comprising of both, like the old recordings of Guru Vargas, like in Ram Navami when Guru Maharaj generally used to be in Chandigarh. The Ram Navami Utsav, when Guru Maharaj was exhibiting the pastimes of in his full good health, he was in Chandigarh at that time, and Guru Vargas like Bhakti Niketan Turyaswami Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Bhushan Bhagavad Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, they all used to offer their Puṣpāñjalī to Śrīla Guru Maharaj. So we collected all those recordings, and meanwhile we also requested devotees to send their recordings. So yeah, that's a collection of all the devotees offerings, and that's constantly playing on. We are playing that on Bhakti Tīrtha radio. Let me see if I can just share the screen. I'll just open up the app just to show how it looks. Just give a look and feel. I'm not sure I can share my screen here. Okay, there is a share option. Click on that.
I just made it so all participants can share their screen, but I've never seen anybody share a mobile their mobile screen before. Yeah.
Okay, let me just try if.
But the mobile app is available on the Google Play Store. Is it also for iPhone, or just for Android for now? Oh, I think Prabhuji disappeared. Haribo? I'm not. Yeah, it looks like the internet cut out. Okay. Well, we can just check on internet. Let's go to Bhakti Tīrtha app. Oops. Google Play Store. Yeah, I just typed in Bhakti Tīrtha app on Google Play Store, and here it is. So if you just go on Google Play, type in Bhakti Tīrtha, then you can find it there. Nice. See, did Prabhu come back? No, not yet. Anyhow, you can see here, Bhakti Tīrtha. Screenshots. We can just see some screenshots here. Let's see. So, oops. So there's gallery, then Vaishnav calendar. Wow, very nice calendar. And then what's that? Kirtans and then it's Harikatha in Bengali, Harikatha in Hindi, Harikatha in English, and then the live radio. And then, yeah, radio. That's so cool. And then quotes, it looks like. And yeah, different bhajans, Nitai Parakamala. With the words also, so you can hear the audio and see the words. Very nice. Looks like Prabhu hasn't come back yet. Oh, Nanda-dulala Prabhu has power cut. Okay. Well, Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, would you be like, are you ready to offer your Puṣpāñjalī now? Would you? Oh, he'll be joining back in 2 minutes.
He's joining back in 2 minutes.
Okay, okay. All right. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess while we're waiting, if anybody, you can, in the meantime, if you have an Android phone, you can go to the Google Play Store and type in Bhakti Tīrtha, and then, yeah.
So I can probably, Hare Krishna, am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, you are. Yes.
I can just say what Nanda-dulala Prabhu was trying to say, so that we'll have more of his time. And
Yes.
this Bhakti Tīrtha radio app, I mean, this is an app which has website, radio, and radio has multiple channels, English, Hindi, Bengali, and some live streaming, etc. So currently it is playing all the audios which are in relationship with Gurudev's glories, starting from Ram Navami, and it will go till the end of this month. And after that, he has plans for playing of other acharyas as per their tithis, etc. So this is how it is evolving, and on normal days it will play Harikatha of Gurudev, Param Gurudev, and Kirtans by various acharyas. So this is, I think this is what he wanted to tell. So if he has joined back, then maybe he can continue with. Nanda-dulala Prabhu, are you back?
Yes, Prabhu, if you have started, you can continue.
No, I just told about Bhakti Tīrtha app which you were telling, so you can
Okay, yeah,
continue.
continue.
No,
And
I have already.
also, sorry. And also, Prabhu, I shared my screen and I went to the Google Play Store and I showed screenshots of the app that were on the Google Play Store for Bhakti Tīrtha
Okay,
app.
okay, sure, Prabhu, sure. So, okay, so then that's what the services. What I was saying was we played the glories of different Vaishnavas. Guru Maharaj was so particular. He even in one of his Harikatha said that glorification word or glorify word is not applicable to Guru, Vaishnava and Bhagavan, because the dictionary meaning of glorification or glorify is something like, those qualities are not like you are trying to accentuate those qualities by putting a light on it. So in his Harikatha, he never used the words glorification. He always used to say, singing the glories. So they are already glorified, they are already glorious, I would say. And then we are just to sing the glories. So he was so particular. One time there was somewhere in the abroad, the subject he was given was philosophy of love. And then he started saying that philosophy is not the right word to go with the transcendental love, because philosophy is something, the word philosophy indicates something we are trying to understand by our own intellect, by our own capability. But transcendental, all the transcendental realm is adokshaja, beyond our reach, beyond our capacity. So I'll start remembering Srila Guru Maharaj's glories sung by Srila Turiya Swami Maharaj. Turiya Swami Maharaj was, he also joined Srila Param Gurudev in late 40s, and he was in Chaitanya Math when Srila Param Gurudev was in Chaitanya Math. He was the Pujari at Shiva Shangan. So he's almost the same time. He came almost the same time when Guru Maharaj came. Just maybe 3-4 years later, he joined, Turiya Maharaj joined Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha. So he says that once in Vrajmandal Parikrama, that was in 1958, that time Guru Maharaj was a brahmachari. That time in Brahmanda Ghat, Srila Param Gurudev, while he was conversing to few devotees, he mentioned that the next Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math would be, he named Srila Guru Maharaj. His name, Srila Guru Maharaj's brahmachari name, Krishna Ballabha Brahmachari. They said Krishna Ballabha Brahmachari will be the next successor of the next Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya. So since his brahmachari days, Srila Guru Maharaj has won the heart of his Gurudev and all his Guru Vargas. In 1961, Srila Guru Maharaj got sannyas order of life. And that was the year when Srila Param Gurudev started Sri Chaitanya Vani magazine, the monthly magazine Sri Chaitanya Vani. Last few years, I would say 3-4 years, I got some inspiration to go through Sri Chaitanya Vani. And I started reading Sri Chaitanya Vani from the first issue, that was 1961 Gaur Purnima, it started. And till date, I have read, I think, till 1968-69. And it was a wonderful experience. Whenever I'm with those words are like time machine. They transform my heart. They actually make me feel the time when Srila Param Gurudev Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Sujanananda Prabhu, Srila Guru Maharaj, they were all combiningly working for Sri Chaitanya Vani. I mean, each and
wasn't also
every. Yes, Prabhu.
No, wasn't also Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj? He was the editor of that also.
Yes, yes, right. So initially, it started in 61. So from 61 to 64, the chief of the editorial board was Srila Sujanananda Prabhu, Dr. S.N. Ghosh. And after he entered into his eternal pastimes, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj was the chief of the editorial board. And the editor, the Sampadak, was Srila Guru Maharaj. So as an editor, Guru Maharaj's name comes. And then the like Sansthapak, Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Mahārāja, and then the chief, the Sansthapak, not Sansthapak, the what it writes in Bangla, Sampadak Sangapati. So the chief of the editorial board was Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. And the contribution what they have made for Sri Chaitanya Vani, like Chaitanya Vani is, each of the word is full packed with their remembrance. Each and every word is transcendental. And whenever I read Sri Chaitanya Vani, it like fills the heart with the remembrance of mainly these four personalities: Srila Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Pujyapad Srila Sajanananda Prabhu, and Srila Guru Maharaj. So I'll share a few few things which I relish when I read Sri Chaitanya Vani. So Chaitanya Vani's office was in Calcutta. It was far from our mart at Kalighat. It was around 4 to 5 kilometers far. It was in Tollygunge area. And that time, as we all know, there was scarcity of funds. So Srila Guru Maharaj used to walk from 35 Satish Mukherjee Road, Kalighat, till the printing press, which was there in Tollygunge. And then he used to read the proof and he used to do all the Chaitanya Vani work. I mean, they did so much of hardship to preach the message of Rupanuga Guru Vargas. I mean, beyond imagination. And Srila Gurudev used to go to Sajanananda Prabhu to get the reviews, to get the proofreading. Guru Maharaj also remembers Srila Bhakti Puṣpāñjalī Goswami Maharaj when he was in Chaitanya Math. He learned how to do proofreading and the kind of publication service from Bhakti Puṣpāñjalī Goswami Maharaj. And when, as I said, he used to go to S.N. Ghosh, Srila Puri Goswami Maharaj. And they all used to work in a close relation, in a close vicinity. Srila Puri Goswami Maharaj, I see each and every issue of Sri Chaitanya Vani has his article, and not only a 1 or 2 page article. He used to write long articles, 4 pages, 5 pages, and all different topics. Very great. I mean, just writing one article takes, so, I mean, they are all enthused by the divine energy. Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Guru Prabhupada gave him power. So that, I mean, we witness when we read Sri Chaitanya Vani magazine, what power Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj. And Srila Gurudev's contribution was in terms of, as you just mentioned before when we started the meeting, Gaur Parshad. In each of the Sri Chaitanya Vani magazine issue, he used to write one article for Gaur Parshadas. And then the classic book, Pauranik Charitavali, the sages and kings of ancient India. So that was their life. I mean, Guru Maharaj is called the Guru Seva Vigrah. Whatever service was given by Srila Param Gurudev, he lived up to his service for the full life. When Srila Jayapataka Maharaj came in our mart, he stayed for around 6 months. He came in 69-70. And Srila Param Gurudev at that time instructed Srila Guru Maharaj to take care of Srila Jayapataka Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. Not only that time, he did not consider that instruction just for the time being. He lived on his instruction throughout his life. Whenever he used to come Mayapur, he specially used to go to Jayapataka Mahārāja just to obey the order of his Gurudev. I mean, such an ideal he has established, and even think of it. So, yeah, so Chaitanya Mani, the main 4 pillars, as I named, and in 1963 or 64, I think Śrīla Param Gurudev started a school in at 86 Ras Bihari Avenue, the place where Śrīla Param Gurudev started his teaching activity, taking rented house, and there he established a school, and the main in the main management, Dr. S.N. Ghosh was there, and Śrīla Param Gurudev was there. Param Gurudev used to take special care of Guru Maharaj. Even in his brahmachari days, Śrīla Param Gurudev gave a instruction to one of his disciples, Krishna Kinkar Prabhu, to see what Śrīla Guru Maharaj, he instructed Krishna Kinkar Prabhu to stay with Śrīla Guru Maharaj when he takes prasadam, because he used to eat even the plates, the pattal, which was given to Śrīla Guru Maharaj. And he never used to say no to any of the offerings, any of prasadam. And then one time, Guru Maharaj himself narrates this very joyfully, remembering his Gurudev, that in one of the function, I think, Guru Maharaj had a desire to serve in kitchen. He went and started cutting vegetables. And at that side, Śrīla Param Gurudev came, and Śrīla Param Gurudev was so concerned, he kind of chastised everyone around. He said that who allowed him to do this service? He may cut his finger. He is so valuable for me. I mean, everything, or whatever letters I have to write, whatever services I have to do in terms of writing, he is the only resource. So he chastised Guru Maharaj also and other devotees that you don't do this service. So such was his care. I mean, Param Gurudev used to care. Yesterday, I was just listening to Sundar Gopal Prabhu's offering, which he made, I think, last week. How Śrīla Guru Maharaj was feeling separation grief from his Gurudev. And each of his words, I could able to relate with the love Śrīla Param Gurudev had showered on him. I mean, Śrīla Param Gurudev used to take care of Śrīla Guru Maharaj we can't even think of. He was the most beloved disciple of his Gurudev. And all his Guru Vargas, of course. So, one Prabhu, I don't remember his name, but he's a disciple of Śrīla Param Gurudev only. He mentioned one pastime of Śrīla Guru Maharaj. They were there in the discourses of Śrīla Param Gurudev. Param Gurudev was speaking Harikatha, and Guru Maharaj was writing his Harikatha. And while writing, Guru Maharaj was constantly seeing Śrīla Param Gurudev. His eyes were on Param Gurudev, and his hands were writing. So this Prabhu who narrated this, he was there, and then he went near to Guru Maharaj, and he saw what Guru Maharaj is writing, and he saw that whatever he is writing, it is without any mistake, without any flaw. So he was surprised that he's not even just giving a single side on what he's writing. He's constantly saying his Guru Maharaj. and he's writing. So then after the Harikatha, he asked Srila Guru Maharaj that Tirtha Maharaj, I saw that you were not giving even a single
Looks like the internet cut out again. Haribol Prabhu?
Okay, yeah. Am I audible? I think the power has gone. So when power goes, the Wi-Fi sometimes
Okay.
goes off.
Yeah.
So,
So
not
it
sure.
got cut off when you said, the devotee said, Guru Maharaj, you're writing and you were not looking at your hand, and then it cut off.
Yeah. Okay. So Guru Maharaj just smiled and he said that it is the mercy of Guru Maharaj. I mean, everything, whatever qualities he had, he used to dedicate, I mean, all those qualities to his Guru Maharaj. And such a special quality he had. I mean, he was writing just 2 days back, few Punjab devotees came, and one of the devotee was saying that he used to write whatever his disciple of our Gurudev. And he said that I used to write notes, but I stopped because when I was writing, I was missing the sight of Guru Maharaj. I was missing his vows. So then it reminded me of Srila Guru Maharaj, this pastime where he had the capability of doing both the things simultaneously. He was this having darshan of his Guru Maharaj, witnessing all his moods, and the same time he was writing everything, whatever was spoken by Srila Param Gurudev. So many of
Prabhu,
yes.
There are 3 more speakers after this, and so if you could
okay, sure, Prabhu, sure.
start to wrap it up, that'd be okay. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I was like, I'm not yet started, I would say, but I'll just recite one more Kirtan pastime of Guru Maharaj, and then I'll conclude. So one of the god brother of Srila Guru Maharaj, Gadadhar Prabhu, who stays in Mayapur, by Guru Maharaj's grace, I have the opportunity to have his association. Today he's of 76 age, and he's giving his association. So he many times remembers this pastime. One time during Brajmandal Parikrama, Guru Maharaj was leading the Kirtan party, and they were heading towards the birthplace of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in Mathura. And Guru Maharaj was like so ecstatic. He was doing doing the Kirtan. Hena avatare jar, ratina janmila, lochan bole sei papi, elo ar gelo. And Guru Maharaj repeating this Kirtan. And that time, the Srila Gadadhar Prabhu says that the DSP of that area, he came there along with 12 of his officers. And this was a time when, this was like year 1991. That time the Ram Mandir issue was going on, and there were riots in the country because of the Ram Mandir issue. So the officer came, and he just stood in a corner, and he was witnessing Srila Guru Maharaj and the Kirtan party, the ecstatic Kirtan. And then in a while, he started walking, he started going back. So Pujyapat Gadadhar Prabhu was there, and then he followed the officer, and he asked what was the reason for his coming. So the officer said that because of this Ram Mandir issue, the government had done very strict permission for any of the religious activities like the procession and all. So he came to check the permission, but then he said that witnessing such a transcendental Kirtan by such a Tejian, the effulgent saint, I don't need any permission. I mean, his darshan is giving us all the permissions. I don't need any permission anymore. And then he left. So such was Srila Guru Maharaj's Kirtan. Was not only like not only the persons who knew him liked his kirtan, and they were ecstatic in his, they were feeling ecstasy in that, in his kirtan. But even the outsiders who never had come in touch with any of the Gaudiya philosophy, they
The internet cut out again.
like maybe sometime later.
Yeah, the internet
so
cut
I
out.
offer,
But yeah,
yes,
sorry.
true.
You're
So
back. You're
I
back.
offer my Dandavat pranams to all, and forgive my all the offenses, whatever I have made, and be merciful on me. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Yes.
Jai, that was so beautiful. So many wonderful pastimes, and yeah, so wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Now, Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, would you like to? Are you ready to offer
Yes.
your puṣpāñjalī? Okay.
Yes. So, Om Jnana-Timirandhasya. Om Jnana-Timirandhasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Vancha-kalpatarubhyasya Kripa-sindhubhya eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratase Namah Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste. Bhaktya Vihina Parad Laksha Chipta Sti Kama Tarangavate. Amai Twam Sharanam Prapanna Vande Namaste Charanarvindam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Ham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam. Namam Vishnu Padaya Shri Gaur Priyamurthaye Srimate Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Swami Namane Maya Vadar Khandanam Guruvanam Kirtanam Pashyate Shopadesha Prasannavanam Sada Shuddha Bhakti Pravahakam Shuddha Bhakti Bhagiratam Bhakti Daikam Madhava Vintam Namamyam Nam Sankirtanam Rata Saraswara Vidhaikam Krishnam Naikakam Uttam Acharyam Tam Namo Mahaguram Sevana Piti Piti Sarvabha Naveen Tīrtha Mahārāja. Hare Krishna. So, is my audio video fine, Prabhu?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. So, how this happened, I understand that we have more speakers, so I'll try to make it short as much as possible. So, this is the first time I think I got your darshan, and your darshan is very beautiful. So, and just yesterday, Nanda-dulala Prabhu said that there is one place where someone is inviting. So I said it is always in my self-interest for my own purification, as much as I can remember and recite Śrīla Gurudev's memories, pastimes, to the extent as you know, it happened on Gurudev's Virad Tithi when I was asked to speak. So I was saying that I don't know who I am, then how can I describe who Gurudev is? So only with the material vision, I have his understanding, because as it is said, Gurudev Yasya Deve Parabhakti Yatha Deve Tatha Guru. So in so many places how Acharya is described, Sakshat Dharitvena, he is as good as Supreme Lord. So he is completely transcendental. At one place, Gurudev mentions in his letters that Supreme Lord is infinite. So nobody, even a pure devotee, even a realized soul, can never say that he has completely, fully realized Supreme Lord. So there will be no such time, because he has infinite qualities. So his realization would go ad infinitum. So that it will never become stale, in other words. And at one place he mentions same is true for a pure devotee also. Their qualities are also infinite, and their realization can never be completed even in the transcendental realm. So when somebody like me who is 100% conditioned soul in mundane, yet as Param Pujyapad Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Goswami Maharaj mentioned that it is impossible for finite to know infinite by its own capacity, mathematically. But nothing is impossible for infinite. So by its own capacity, infinite can reveal itself to the finite also. So that is the only, and that is where the grace, the concept of grace applies. So by his grace, whatever he has revealed, and of what he revealed, to the extent that I have understood or misunderstood, I can try to share that, praying to him and praying to all the assembled devotees here. As Gurudev, in always his prayers, he would have long prayers, at least 10 minutes prayers before every Harikatha. And he would say that I seek pleasure, pray for the pleasure of all the assembled devotees. So his instruction was always to serve, and that's where in Param Pujyapad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, so Nanda-dulala Prabhu and I, both of us, we still live in Pune, and Nanda-dulala Prabhu was also living in Pune. So we used to host him for, and before that Paramadvati Maharaj, who was Prahlad Prabhu. So since from 2007 till 2014 or 15, he used to grace us coming to Pune, and then be here for as long as a month. So even he would say the same thing, that our aim is to serve everyone who comes across, and he says that is instruction he received from his Gurudev. So I don't have that at all in myself, but that should be the objective. So I can recall some of the experiences that I had and I felt with him. And to go briefly, it was around it was in 2002 when I had first darshan of Gurudev, and before that for many years I first came in touch with Krishna consciousness, and then I was going around and somehow had this somewhere understanding that Guru should be Sakshat Dharitvena, as good as Hari, can never commit, he should not never commit mistakes. And it was when, after being for many years looking for, and when I had first darshan of Gurudev, and that darshan, the darshan had such a profound and deep impact, which actually gave a vision of my inside, which I had never seen before. And then I got a immense, like some voice shouting from inside that yes, he's the one who is Sakshat Dharitvena, who is as good as Hari, and he can never commit mistakes. But at the same time, I got another feeling that I am not eligible to be his disciple. So far, I was looking for an eligible guru, but here the feeling was completely reversed. So much so that I am not even eligible to be sitting or standing in front of him. I am so impure, and he is so pure. And I actually started kind of fleeing that place, running away. That was the impression, the internal experience that I was having, that I couldn't stand there. But then, as I was just going out, and one of his disciples, he caught my hand and brought me in front of him. And I was totally new at that time, very few, and then he introduced me that at that time I used to live in Bangalore. So he has come from Bangalore, and so then Gurudev looked up and gave me that his charming smile, of which all of were fond of. So then I felt that relief, that whosoever he is, howso much ever powerful he is, but he is not going to harm me ever. That is the another faith that I came. So I need not run away from this place. And as soon as he heard Bangalore, he remembered his Gurudev's, that my Gurudev had written that, one of the places where he wanted something to happen was Bangalore. So Bangalore reminded him only of his Gurudev's wishes and vision. So, and then by his desire, his first program happened in Bangalore. And I need to narrate why I said by his desire, because two things happened. That Prasad Prabhu and Prahlad Prabhu, which is Paramadvati Maharaj, and I, we used to live together there in Bangalore, working together. And both of us gave our offerings after our Harinam in 2002, which happened. So we went January, I went to see him first time, then Mayapur in March, and again in July in Jagannath Puri, where we received Harinam initiation. So we made him some offering in the form of checks, and he so promptly, even without taking in his hands, he immediately said, take them and do, arrange for the centennial program of his Gurudev. It was like almost a shocking thing that we have hardly come. And how could we don't know anything, and how could we arrange this? But he just returned and gave those checks that with this money you arrange. So it was my first experience being at other places that the Acharya is giving us money. So far that onus used to lie with us. So it was okay. So, and that fund was much more than enough for doing any program there at that point in time. And then, so it happened that we came to Bangalore, and three brahmacharis from Math joined, and I rented a place there in Bangalore. We used to live arranging for Gurudev's program for the centennial celebration of Param Gurudev, Nanda-dulala Prabhu Vishnu Bhakti Ballabha Mahārāja, his centennial, which was in 2004. And now we had a centennial of our Gurudev, 2024, and it's now it's running the Utsav year. So I remember at that point in time that it was somewhere in July, and then Gurudev was supposed to arrive in, say, December, and it was time period of October when I got some sudden anxiety that they are going to come, Gurudev is going to come to the party in 2 months, and while the brahmacharis were doing arranging the things, but then somehow I don't know why I got this anxiety that what will happen. I am so new. I will what is to be done? Will we be able to make arrangements to the level that should be made for somebody like him? We don't know where would he host his program, where, all these things. And I was like in deep anxiety one evening. Suddenly it struck me, and so much so that I was it was an old house. There was a large room, so I closed that from inside. I turned the light off, and I was just pacing back and forth in that room. What will happen? What will happen? So this went on for some minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then in those very, very early years also, Gurudev is so kind, he can't see the anxiety and pain of anybody, as we always saw throughout his life. He was there just to please everyone and not accept himself. That was the only motto I think he lived with from day one to day, and that just to please and serve everybody. And he considered, I think, everyone, even there are his pastimes that even animals, birds, insects, ants, he always had looking for opportunity to serve everyone. So he, at that moment in that room, when I was in anxiety, I got, he is the first time ever, before that I never experienced any things like this can happen. What is transcendental was also theory. But then he, there was a light inside my heart, and he was there. And he just, with whatever those, there was an inner message that I am there, I am looking after everything. There is, I will take care of everything. And that made me extremely peaceful. After that, all my anxiety, all my worry was gone. So this is how it began, and in 2002, and I would say throughout till day last, he was giving us so many lessons through so many. So there was no need for really always a direct communication with him, because communication through with him, he can always communicate in the heart, wherever and anywhere we are. And that was even more known and visible after his disappearance. It was very surprising. It was very hard to imagine that how the life would be and what for we would live when he's not there. Extremely hard to imagine. And also after he left, life has lost a meaning. It's my experience. I one after another lost my parents also, and they were also very loving, but they were Vaishnavas also. But the what Gurudev, when he left, there is no, that cannot be, that's a wound which never heals, and that's a separation which cannot be made up for. However, so in the first few years after he left, as I was saying, that he made himself present in the heart so much. In so many ways, he was interacting, inspiring directly. I could feel his presence. That once I had to mention that so far I had to travel to Kolkata from Pune to have his darshan, but now there is no need to go anywhere. He's here all the time. So his presence I felt more, and and that was very real and natural. It's not an imagination. I mean, in whatever way he will interact, I would get the same feeling as I would get the feeling after having seen him in person. And it lasted for a couple of years, but no more. I mean, I would say now is when we feel, I don't know why it happened, whether it was a special relief package that he gave for a few years, or I committed some offenses because of it. But now I am only longing for it, and now the life is very hard. So as I said, throughout but these such meetings, remembering him, which we have been trying to do since Ram Navami, as a lot has making me feel lot better. And reading about Guru Tattva and such things give so much relief. So given that, as I told you initially also, that I am not even eligible to his disciple. It was crystal clear vision that I still have. I can't even stand in front of him. But now what is called ahituki kripa, causeless mercy, that's the living example of that, that he extended his hand and still accepted me, despite showing me that where I am and where he is. And that remains the case. So there is only one more thing I would say, understanding, all I mentioned that there are innumerable such experiences and pastime he has given throughout, and hours and hours wouldn't be sufficient to recall all those, but there's just one I would cite about his that Antarang Leela, that internal pastime which he entered in 2013 and which was there till 2017 April 20th, when he uh, went back. So it was somewhere in between. I visited Kolkata Mutt to have his darshan, and we used to get his darshan after Sandhya Arti, evening Arti. So evening Arti there we are doing in front of deities. And he was also a deity at that time, actually, Gurudev. Someone, Param Pujyapad Bhakti Niketan Turashami Maharaj has put it so well that your Gurudev, just like Supreme Lord, appears in the form of deity to give us service for our welfare. Otherwise, we will be devoid of that. He is not loser. We are the only losers. He said, your Gurudev has also transformed himself in the deity form so that he can give you the service, because the how Gurudev was that he never allowed anyone to serve him, even in such an old age when he has showing the pastimes, when he has even difficulty in walking, he would walk himself and try to wash his clothes, wash his utensils, do everything on his own, and never he called anyone his servant, even though the people were like his grandchildren who were his servants. He always called them helpers, as we have heard from his servants. So that was his mood. So he would never allow anyone to, and despite being such an acharya, as we all know about him, he would have ashan which was torn, a mirror in which nobody can see his face, but he would still use that to do tilak. So that was his simplicity, that was his nature. So nobody could really, because that was his nature. We saw he was humble from so much deep within that we used to completely fail in front of him to argue or do anything. You just so that's how he transferred himself, or Supreme Lord transformed him into a deity form, wherein anybody now he could be served, because from external medical phase he had a brain hemorrhage, so he was supposed to live only for 5 days, but he stayed for 3.5 years, and all the doctors were completely couldn't believe it throughout. Whosoever saw him, his parameters and his life symptoms, and they would all say that they have never seen somebody like him, and it is only his wish by which he is living. Medical science can't do anything. So when I was telling that we had that evening darshan of evening arti, having darshan of Bhagwan deities, which was very impressive, and very living deities who were served, who were installed by our Param Gurudev, and our Gurudev served them and always wanted to be there because of his Gurudev's presence in the Kolkata Mutt. He even preferred Kolkata over Mayapur, just because his attachment to Gurudev, because his Gurudev did disappearing pastimes in Kolkata Mutt. So he chose always to stay there. That was his attachment. So, and as you would have heard, that how he would go every there and cry in the age of 90 years also in front of his Gurudev. So when I had that evening darshan, and there was so much of purification that you feel after having darshan of deities and arti, And when we went up on the 4th floor, and when the darshans of Gurudev will open, so Gurudev's darshans opened, and he was sitting on a tall wooden chair in his room behind the glass door. And as usual, he would have his eyes looking up, and there is a pipe in his nose for feeding, etc. And there I felt a very deep purification in my heart just by having his darshan, which was more than what I was already coming through. And I was confused, and I said, how can this be? I mean, that was my level of faith, that you can say that how can it be more than that? It can be equal. So I was puzzled, but then it was very distinct, and it was kind of had that effect inside, very nice effect. I went back, and I was still not sure. And few days later, or whenever the next darshan I have Gurudev, same sequence and same impact I felt in my heart. It was more purifying than the darshan that I had. So there was, now what is the interpretation that we have to see, but then for sure he had that deity form at that time, and Gurudev, as we always know, is more merciful, kind than Supreme Lord also. As Nanda-dulala Prabhu was saying, that our Gurudev said about his Gurudev, that whatever Supreme Lord can give, our Gurudev can give. But whatever Supreme Lord will not give, also our Gurudev can give. So we always, since childhood, we have heard about such things about Guru being compared to Bhagwan and other things. But then going through this is like, until you go through this is all theory and unbelievable. So, and it is only when they stretch their hand, as it has been since day one till day last, that you know something of this sort can exist, otherwise not. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kipasindhubhyo pastanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Please forgive any mistakes or anything which I should not have said. And thank you for providing this opportunity to remember.
Jai. I'm just, what is it? This book that we were just reading, Sweet, Sweeter, Sweetest. Why does it, there's 3 different stages. There's the sweet pastimes and the sweeter, and then finally the sweetest, when these final pastimes, when they, this is where it brings our connection to a whole deeper level, right? Like the Acharya, like these Mahabhagavats, they are not bound by time and space like ordinary conditioned souls, and they're fully accessible at any moment, and they can even be like an even deeper, more intimate connection can be made to them even after their disappearance. And so, yeah, these are all just such beautiful, personal, like very beautiful memories. And thank you for sharing your experience. And yeah, just it's very, very inspiring. Thank you, Prabhu. So it's now 8:24. I was thinking we'd end at 8:30. But there's still a little bit more time. I think, Revatī, Didi, would you like to just offer a small, like, a Puṣpāñjalī? Because yesterday there wasn't a chance either.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Okay, so what, 4 minutes, 6 minutes?
No. I maybe 15 minutes. Is that enough time?
I don't know. In the beginning, I don't know what to say, and then sometimes things come, so I don't know. Okay. Let's see. I turn on my video.
Where it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for you right now, right? There in France.
Now it's almost 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Jai. Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat.
Dandavat pranams to all devotees. Thank you so much for engaging me in remembering my Gurudev and being part of this wonderful assembly of Vaishnavas. This is my biggest fortune, and definitely I feel it as a blessing of my Gurudev, who, you know, even in the very early morning hours will come and always find a way to drag me out of ignorance. And for my own welfare. So thank you so much for being part of this. Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namayom Vishnupadaya Shri Gaura Priyamurtaye Srimate Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Tinamini. Namayom Vishnupadaya Rupanuga Priyaya Cha Srimate Bhakti Daita Madhava Goswami Namini. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhyaiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Patit Pavan Shri Guru Mahārāja ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. So that was so enlivening to listen to my god brothers speak. It's more than nectar. I wish it could just go on forever. I've been reflecting. I went through, you know, different feelings, because definitely I don't feel at all capable of singing the glories, like Nanda-dulala Prabhu was saying, singing the glories of my Guru Maharaj. You know, like I might have had like this, like a tiny glimpse of his glories. And so I don't know what to say, but I pray for his grace. And last night, before going to sleep, I started writing, and somehow Guru Maharaj was giving inspiration. I met Guru Maharaj a few times. Like, you know, I didn't have that much association, but it's like those few times, you know, they're like eternal. It's like we meet people, but, you know, it just passes, like, oh, I only met him once, I don't know him. But Guru Maharaj, like, you only meet him like, you know, a few seconds, and it's like that, those few seconds will be eternal and will have stayed with me my whole life. And those moments are the most important. It's like those are the eternal, the moments where I feel alive. Like those moments are what count in my life. Everything else is just drama. So much drama in life goes on, and different roles, you know, I have played and people have played in my life. But those moments with Guru Maharaj were the real moments of deep connection, of who I really am. And he has shed light on that. You know, Om Jnana Timirandasya. He has really, from all my ignorance of who I think I am and all that, when being in his presence, already his brightness is like so effulgent. It's like, how to describe it? You know, it's like, how do you describe something that is not material? It's very, very difficult. But it's like his brightness is so strong that it just feels like it just like washes away layers of impurities to come down really into the heart. And Guru Maharaj's like vision is just like going, penetrating deep into the heart. And one time when I went to Chandigarh to meet Srila Gurudev, it was at the end of Kartik. And Guru Maharaj is like, you know, has always showed me that he is accessible. Even though, you know, being such an acharya and being so busy, and it was the end of Kartik, so like the Kartik programs are so packed, so intense. And so the sevaks, they're always so kind, the sevaks. And they were like, well, Guru Maharaj, needs to take rest. He's been with a lot of people and doing so much harikata. So now he will take rest. I said, okay, no problem, no problem. I'm just happy to be here in the mat and in Guru Maharaj's vibration. And whenever Guru Maharaj comes out for public darshan, I will have darshan, no problem. And then at some point they're like, no, come. And they called me, and it was already so beautiful outside his room. The devotees had decorated it like with flowers around, so it was like a kunja. So it was like being invited into Guru Maharaj's kunj. And they opened the door, and they had prepared this darshan so that I could have Guru Maharaj's darshan. And when they opened the door, that's when I had this experience of Guru Maharaj's effulgence. It was like the whole room was like, wow. But not aggressive. It's like, it's really like Koti Chandra Sushitala. Really, like, how many moons of just wow, but so bright at the same time, but not a brightness that my physical eyes can see, but I did see it. And Guru Maharaj is sitting in his room, in his chair. It was quite a large room, and he's sitting in his chair, just very, just so beautiful, so beautiful, and just so simple and innocent at the same time, and so magnanimous, and just this light coming, and wow, already that. And so of course I just started crying and crying, one of those times when you just can't hold yourself and you're just like purifying yourself, and I got to sit right next to Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. And his mercy is just so inconceivable, like he just always showed me, that's what I wanted to say, he just showed me that he is always accessible, because of my samskars and this and that. I can somehow feel like, oh, I'm worthless, or he doesn't know me and this and that. But on so many occasions he's showed me, no, I am available. And he gave me teachings at that point, verbally, but also non-verbally at the same time. And I had my little boy with me, and he always made sure that the children were happy. So he told the sevak to go get him some prasad, and they brought fruity, and it was like just like a family atmosphere. It wasn't like the acharya and the tiny disciple. It was just, it's family. He's my most loving guardian, father, divine master. It's like, how much more blessed can I ever be? So I'm just so grateful. And so I want to be able to sing his glories, to be able to get more purified and get closer to him. And one instruction that he gave me one time in Kolkata Mat, after everybody coming for darshan and getting prasad, Guru Maharaj would give prasad personally to each devotee. And then at the end, so I came, and then he told me, he said, you stay, I want to tell you something. So I said, okay. So after everybody got prasad, I stayed in the room. And Guru Maharaj told me, how there's this posture, Guru Maharaj sits in his chair and he leans forward. This is so present. So he leans forward like this and looks at me, and he says, and I'm like waiting, well, what's Gurudev gonna say? And he says, this Kali Yuga is a special Kali Yuga. And this is Dainya Kali. In this Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has appeared, and this is such a rare. And just I've heard that, my whole life. I've been born, in devotee families. I've heard it. But hearing Guru Maharaj say it, just like yes. You cannot but just feel like a big yes to everything he says. It's so realized and powerful. And then he says this verse, Nava, the one about we've been taking cycles of birth and death, and there's all these, different species. And it's as if like he could see all the species that I have been going through. I can see like the wheel of samsara and all my different things. And Guru Maharaj is seeing me, and he has come to save me. He's like, okay, Revatī, this is just a moment. Like, you have now appeared taken birth in this Dainya Kali. You have gone enough cycles. So don't waste time. Don't lose. You would say, don't make late. Don't make late. Don't waste time. And so I'm like, yes, Gurudev, trying to absorb as much as I can, even though I know I'm not getting like the full vastness and I'm still having resistance and whatnot. And then I said, Gurudev, please give me an instruction. Because when Vaishnava had told me, he said, you have to go fall at your Gurudev's lotus feet and get instruction. Otherwise, what is the point of having a spiritual master? You have to go. So that was one of the reasons I had my mission. So I said, Gurudev, please give me an instruction. And so Gurudev, and then he paused. He always had so much time, but it's so amazing also, like Guru Maharaj, like if you listen to a Harikatha, sometimes there's these, short videos of Guru Maharaj, maybe like 5 minutes, but you feel like it's an hour. The way Guru Maharaj speaks, he takes his time, and every word is so profound and so deep that you feel like he's given an hour class and it's only been 5 minutes. It's amazing. So he takes his time, and then he says, chant from the core of your heart. And he said it to many. That was one of his instructions that he would always say. But it doesn't mean that he didn't want me to do it, And when he says it with his finger, it's like he's going deep inside my heart. And I was reflecting on that. Because at that time, it's like Rukmini Didi was saying yesterday, how Guru Maharaj's instructions are like these, tablets, which, and she said that at another year, it's like a sutra. It's like, he plants it. And then over the years, it just becomes more and more relevant and has, deeper and deeper meaning. So at that time, I was like, okay, Gurudev, yes, this I know. I know, but not realized. Yeah, Gurudev. But give me another instruction. As if I was already able to follow that, I wanted something like concrete, go open a temple, go preach or something like. And but that's what he told me. And I've been reflecting on it. And in that instruction, there is so much. There is so much profoundness to that instruction, because to be able to chant from the core of the heart, it's not my own personal effort. I'm going to need sadhu sangha. I'm going to need sadhu sangha of people who chant from the core of their heart. So I'm going to have to do everything I possibly can to make this instruction possible. So I'm going to have to find the sadhu sangha and develop this greed. So I have to make my life in such a way to develop such a greed that that this chanting from the core of my heart isn't going to be a physical, mental exercise, but it will be that it will come spontaneously. So Guru Maharaj wants me to come to that level. So this is, this is such a simple instruction that we can be like, I've heard, but actually it's so profound. And I'm sure there's way much more layers of it also. So that's something that I wanted to share. And Guru Maharaj also taught me through his achar that everything actually comes from praying. Like our life is prayer. And praying for mercy, because he would always say, Atachi Krishna Namadi, Nabhavid Grahyam Indriya. It's like not from our own Indriyas, not from, we cannot reach the transcendental world and even, his transcendental associates with our senses. There's just no point. So we should do seva. And even for that, we have to pray for mercy. And Guru Maharaj, like one time when I was in America, that's when I met Guru Maharaj for the first time. Was in America. We went to one program, and we got there late for some reason. So the hosts were like, "Oh, Gurudev, there's not much time, so maybe you can just cut short on the Jaidvani in Mangalacharan." But actually, Guru Maharaj, you know, he only did the Mangalacharan. he focused. I mean, he didn't focus. I mean, for him, if there's no Mangalacharan, there's no Harikatha. Because he would say, who can speak Harikatha? You know, it's you don't speak by our own efforts. So he would pray the grace, and we all know, if we've heard his Mangalacharan, how powerful it was. How he is praying from the core of his heart. So it's all through prayer and whatever we do, you know. And I find that even in my life, like in my day-to-day life, if I see like my mind is going somewhere and I'm not able, you know, I'm not able to focus all day long. But what I can do is pray. Oh Gurudev, look at what state I am. Oh Gurudev, help me. And come to a point where I will be able to constantly be Ha Gurudev, Ha Gurudev, Ha Gurudev, and everything. And so that there's no, you know, in the beginning, like we divert like towards Maya. And then just hopefully one day I'll be able to come closer and closer and closer and just be Ha Gurudev just all the time. And that my hands will always be in prayer instead of like this. So this is my prayer to Gurudev, that I may always stay in prayer. And one more thing I wanted to add also is Srila Gurudev gave us so many keys. You know, he has showed us, like he's given us everything in very step-by-step ways, you know, like from where we are. Okay, we've been going through all these cycles of birth and death. Like, okay, so this is, you know, where you are. Where do you want to go? We want to go, you know, to the spiritual world. Like, you know, when Gurudev speaks about Astakaliya Lila during Kartik, and when he speaks about it, you it's like turning on TV. You feel it. You get into those leelas, you know. And even though he repeats, Guru Maharaj repeated the same pastimes every single day for one whole month. Every day, it's so wow. Every day, it's alive, and he is tasting it, tasting the sweetness of, you know, kakati, you know, calling in a harsh voice, and he would relish it, and his relishment comes out. So he's showing us what is the highest goal of being in connection, constant connection with this transcendental, sweet, sweet world. Guru Maharaj would say it's so sweet. And the way he says sweet, it's just, you can feel that, like rasgulla next to it is bitter. So he gave us different keys, you know, like the key of Dhruva Maharaj, the key of not blaming anybody. That's the key of Dhruva Maharaj, of following in toto. I love how Guru Maharaj, like, there's some words like this that he would use that are very specific to him and are just so sweet, you know. He said he followed in toto. And then there's the key of Prahlad Maharaj, the key of Prahlad Maharaj, that in whatever circumstance you find yourself in, you know, we can always say, oh, you know, yeah, but my family is so difficult to follow. Look at Prahlad Maharaj. She was like in a full demoniac family, you know. And I mean, that's just one of the teachings. But the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj is also, that Guru Maharaj would say, is that Supreme Lord is so near and dear. He's the closest to us, you know. So of course it's easy for us. It's easy actually to worship him. It's not difficult. But in whatever circumstance, he would say, you know, you can chant inside. You don't have to chant outside. If you're like in work, you just call from the core of your heart. You know, you chant loudly. Nobody will know. And he would say, like a little innocent child, nobody will know that you're chanting very loudly. And another key that he gave us, which was immense, is the power of chanting Gaur Nityananda, chanting Nitai Gauranga's name. That is such a huge, huge key. And we would see how he would call out to Gaur Nityananda, right? He would say, he would call out in the when he would do the Jayadao Kirtan. Like Guru Maharaj's Jayadao Kirtans are just, you know, like direct connection to the Supreme World. And he would tell us, even like in his 50th sannyas ceremony, that was one of his like very powerful, I would say, last teachings, is that we should chant this Panchatattva mantra, you know, and this will give us everything. Because when we chant Mahamantra, we can commit offenses, but Gaur Nityananda are so merciful that they don't take offense. So we should chant, we should pray from the core of our heart. And he would say, don't make decisions by yourself. Sometimes if you are confused, you go in front of Gaur Nityananda and you pray. And he said, I've had this experience. I said, I went in front of Gaur Nityananda and I prayed. And he said, and a divine light of, I forget the exact words that he used, but like, you know, knowledge, transcendental knowledge came down and he felt peaceful. So he's giving us so many keys, so many, you know, it's like, we're never lost. We're never lost. And so he was spreading, you know, Gora Priya Murtaya. He is Gora Priya Murtaya. He is, you know, we can see that in different ways. And also Gora Nama Pracharardram. He has come to spread the name of Gora, who are Radha and Krishna, but you know, in this most magnanimous form, Guru Maharaj has come to spread Mahaprabhu's name across the globe, always singing Ha Gaura Hari, Ha Nityananda, Ha Kaha Gaura Hari. And especially Mahaprabhu's teachings. And he emphasized always on Shikshastakam. Guru Maharaj would always emphasize on Shikshastakam. Almost in every Hari Katha, he would speak on Shikshastakam. And during Kartik, of course, we hear Guru Maharaj speak on Shikshastakam during one whole month. And he would say, every day we should remember Shikshastakam. Then we will make progress. Then we will make progress. And I know, Madhukar Prabhu, your next, you know, program will be Shikshastakam, so that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm so grateful you shared that. That's like, it's giving me a lot of inspiration for, the program coming up.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's really like the continuation of these glories of Guru Maharaj, is because he is eternal. He is so satisfied if we sing the glories of Shikshastakam.
And
if
his
we follow
Shikshastakam
them.
classes, they've been transcribed and everything. Maybe we can read them
Yes.
also in the program.
Yes.
Okay,
on
wonderful.
this application, BB Tirtha.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to read those articles also while in our program.
Yes. So he would, you know, every verse, every single day. So there's a, you know, first verse, second verse, third verse, and such nectar. And if we can just follow them, he says we should meditate deeply on these verses and apply them in our lives. Because he would say, you know, Chinadapi, every day we can recite Chinadapi Sanichena. And then, but as soon as we walk out the class, somebody says something to us, we'll be like, "What?" He would make everybody laugh. So sweet, really. And like, you know, the devotees would say that he is so affectionate that he always made sure that nobody suffered, that everybody was always, you know, this was one of his main gestures also. It's like, you know, caressing us. Like, and one time I went to have darshan of Srila Gurudev, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm a woman, I will never get his pat on my head, and I was feeling like inside, you know. And my son came, and he was like 8 years old, and so my Guru Maharaj patted his head, and he's like looking at me. I felt patted. He never leaves any desire unfulfilled. And so I believe that if we strongly cultivate our desire to serve and to be with Guru Maharaj, he will definitely, I mean, he wants us to be there. So he will definitely fulfill it. I would like to be able to glorify so much more, but I don't want to take too much more time. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really feel blessed to be in the association of Vaishnavas and to be able to remember my Gurudevs. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai.
Jai. Haribol. That was, I'm feeling very fortunate. All that's the quality of these divine personalities, is that they can have the most direct, intimate, personal relationship. Everybody has a completely unique darshan of them and a completely unique experience with them, and there is no more possible intimate personal connection like it's not possible. And so every devotee's glorification is, it's just so wonderful to hear the unique darshan that every follower and disciple had. And so I'm feeling very purified hearing all of this. And I wish it would never end, but I mean, everybody has to get on with their day. But
Can I just add one thing?
Yes, please. Yeah.
You know how the other day Paramadvaiti Maharaj was saying how Guru Maharaj was so wanted really to share, you know, this pastime of, and tell them, you know, Ladva Sadurla
Oh, yes.
bahu sambhavante.
When he was writing the letter, you mean?
When he was writing the letter, and he wants us so much to understand the importance of this human life. And I just wanted to share that one time it was my birthday, and Guru Maharaj appeared to me in my dream with this verse.
Wow.
You know, it's like he already came out, 3 times he was calling the bell. He told Paramadvaiti Maharaj, tell them this, tell them, and then he opened the door, tell them this. And like that's not enough. Like he had to even come into my dream to like remind me. Like I just pray it gets in.
And that's what makes his words so powerful. Because, well, first of all, he completely embodied the words like 100%. Like, and because he was giving the words with so much urgency and so much seriousness. Like he wanted you to accept it. And so the words were just filled with infinite power. And that's why even just a moment with the Mahabhagavata has we can't even estimate that very moment. Like that was a really nice point that you mentioned in the beginning. That moment is enough to fill our entire lifetime and bring us everything. That's yeah. So yeah, very, very wonderful glorification. And I'm looking forward to next year when we can have more glorifications around this time also. So that's our program for today. I'll just do a very short Mahamantra, and then I'm just looking at the calendar. I think maybe we'll start. Okay, so Gadadhar Pandit's appearance day is the day after tomorrow. That's actually the day that we started this Bhakti Vinod Giti Thara program thing. And so I think it'd be nice to restart it the day after tomorrow. So tomorrow will be like the Adivas or whatever. We can like prepare ourselves and it's the Eve program. And then the day after tomorrow, we will start our new program going into the songs of Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur again. And then going through his commentary, Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's commentary, my Gurudev's commentary. Now we can hear Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj's commentary and all of our acharyas. And also, if anybody'd like, we can try. If anybody'd like, we can try to memorize the kirtans also, the Shikshashtakam kirtans by Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and also the verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I know that was a program that your Guru Maharaj would follow during Kartik time, and so yeah, that will be our new program. All right, I'll just wait 1 second. Oh yes, Sarveśvarī Mātājī. She has a hand raised. You can turn on your mic.
Prabhu, you forget myself. I'm a bit disappointed.
No. Definitely, I wrote you a WhatsApp message already. Actually, I'm not sure if you saw your WhatsApp, but no, I'm planning tomorrow because now it's a bit late. But tomorrow you can offer your puṣpāñjalī, and I wrote you on WhatsApp already.
I'm a bit disappointed, Prabhu. I know.
But you can offer tomorrow. I wrote on. I'm not sure if you saw the message I sent.
All right, that's all right. Thank you.
Okay. No, because I mentioned tomorrow you can glorify also on WhatsApp. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Radha Nayananath Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai, Śrīla Bhakti Dait Madhav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai, Swaparshad Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Revatī Didi, and Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mātājī, Nanda-dulala Prabhu, Naveen Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, Dandavat pranams, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Nitai Mukeshji, and so many devotees on YouTube and Facebook today. Yeah, a lot of devotees, over 10 devotees now. Ganga Mātājī, Gopali Didi, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Vamsiwala Prabhu, Champak Mātājī, Vidyalala Didi, Shukura Mātājī, and Mitra Vrinda Didi, and so many other devotees, Dandavat pranams, and also pranams to all devotees watching in the future. So tomorrow, Sarveśvarī Mātājī, she'll also share her, she'll offer her Puṣpāñjalī, and then we will begin our Shikshashtakam program. We'll do the introduction to it. So, all right, thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.